join me in counting to 3, and we'll unveil the buses. Ready? 1, 2. To our Mayor, Justin Wilson, and our entire Alexandria City Council, we thank you for the incredible support of DASH and for standing behind programs such as these to make sure that Alexandria can be enjoyed by generations to come. To our Environmental Policy Commission, we thank you for the support of our efforts, for volunteering your time to advocate for programs like this, and for ensuring that they are incorporated into the city's environmental action plan. To City Manager Mark Jinks and all of his incredibly talented and supportive city staff who work day in and out to support DASH in so many ways. I would especially like to give a big shout out to our Transportation and Environmental Services group led by Jan Lambert and Hillary Orr. I see Hillary in the back there. We work very closely together and we really appreciate your support. I also want to mention Bill Egger, who is not able to be here in person with us today, but he's watching live stream as I understand it. He is our city's energy manager and has been greatly helpful in so many aspects of planning for this project. To Chairman Kaplan and the entire Alexandria Transit Company Board of Directors, thank you. This is a fully volunteer board who's with me in my to support our goals and to help us remain one of the best transit systems in the country. They are truly the best board of directors I've worked with, and I'm humbled to be able to serve with them. Further, this milestone would not be possible without the support and energy of the Northern Virginia Transportation Authority, the Virginia Department of Environmental Quality, and of course our many friends at the Department of Rail and Public Transportation, led by Jennifer Mitchell and Jennifer DeBrule. I know Jen DeBrule is here somewhere. There she is. All right. Both of whom and their staff have worked hard to support transit throughout the Commonwealth. They have not only been incredible advocates for DASH, but also to me personally. They exemplify what a state agency can accomplish when working as a partner with the systems they support. I would like to thank the Center for Transportation and the Environment, CTE, for partnering with us in performing our zero-emissions bus fleet feasibility study and helping us to plan the infrastructure necessary for this technology. I want to thank New Flyer, who is the manufacturer of the electric buses that we're unveiling today, for partnering with DASH and meeting an aggressive delivery timeframe even throughout the pandemic. They have worked hard to ensure Alexandrians can benefit as soon as possible from this clean and reliable technology. And last, but certainly not least, I want to thank all of the members of my incredible team at DASH. Many of them are here with us today or watching the live stream. I have the honor of working with some of the best and most talented transit professionals in the industry. It's a group of people who love what they do and they're here because they're dedicated to transit. The event today was put together by Whitney Code. Where is Whitney? It's always hard to... Yes, please give Whitney a hand and her staff. They worked very hard to make sure that we could accommodate an event like this in today's environment, maintaining a safe environment for our attendees. Again, I want to thank you all for being here with us today to celebrate this achievement, and it is now my pleasure to introduce our next speaker. Shannon Valentine serves as the Commonwealth Secretary of Transportation. She's responsible for a $6 billion multimodal transportation system. It spans 7 agencies and more than 10,000 employees. As Secretary, she serves as the chair of the Commonwealth Transportation Board. She is a former member of the Virginia House of Delegates, where her legislative priorities focused on transportation, economic development, education, and ethics. She led a bipartisan efforts to create transparent government, expand clean energy production, and invest in inner-city passenger rail service for the first time in Virginia's history. Please join me in welcoming the Honorable Shannon Valentine to the podium.
Hi, everybody.
Hello.
The handoff. Woo! What a beautiful day. It's worth speaking, just to be able to do this. Josh Baker, thank you so much. Josh and I go way back. We actually, from Lynchburg, shared Josh from the Greater Lynchburg Transit Company and coming up here, so great to be with you. Mayor Wilson, thank you as always. Governor, I was on the call this morning. Check in, appreciated the shout out. We also have our Chief of Staff, Clark Mercer, and I believe your parents are back there, Clark. So anyway, he's the reason everything runs so well. Friends from DRPT, and Josh, you did a beautiful job of recognizing so many of our distinguished guests. It truly is a great day to be here. For more than 25 years of my life, I've worked in various facets of economic development, transportation, safe housing, clean energy opportunities, so this milestone is really a privilege. The unveiling of these electric buses here in Northern Virginia represents a critical step toward a cleaner, more sustainable future, one that elected officials, public servants, community leaders, transit professionals, citizens can all work together to build. These new electric buses will make transit, which is already a smart and sound environmental choice, even cleaner and more efficient. Do you all know that a single electric bus can eliminate nearly 50 to 70% of greenhouse gases as compared to a diesel-powered bus, which is only made possible because of Dash's commitment to bring zero-emission battery electric technology to Northern Virginia's transit network. Our multimodal system here in the Commonwealth, which I believe is unparalleled in the country, is the foundation for Virginia's economy, and public transit is the backbone of sustainable infrastructure. Incorporating these buses into our transportation network will allow so many Virginians to have a reliable, safe, and clean option for generations to come. I can think of no one more enthusiastic about building an environmentally sustainable Commonwealth than our governor. Since taking office in 2018, Governor Northam has set a high standard for transportation and environmental stewardship. He established a conservation cabinet, led the effort to develop and pass the Transportation Omnibus Bill, which created the Commonwealth Trust Fund, a financial commitment to funding multimodal transportation across Virginia. It also created the Transit Incentive Program. You've signed the Virginia Clean Energy Act, amongst so many other things. He truly has been a leader for all of us. Governor Northam, I thank you for your commitment to mobility, accessibility, and environmental stewardship. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome the 73rd Governor of our Commonwealth, the Honorable Ralph Northam.
Well, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Wow, it is a good day to be back in Alexandria. And Shannon, thank you so much for your words, your work, your friendship, and all of your leadership in Virginia. I'll tell you, we are blessed to have such great cabinet members, and certainly transportation is so important to Virginia. It's important to our economy, and as was said, just multiple billions of dollars are being invested by you, the taxpayers, across the Commonwealth of Virginia, and just tremendous leadership to, especially during the pandemic, to keep these projects moving forward. So Shannon, thank you for all that you do. I would also, I know he's been recognized, but our Chief of Staff, Clark Mercer, is with us today. You know, he hails from Alexandria, and Mayor, I think he went just when I get ready to mention his school, the microphone goes dead. I don't know why that is, but you know, I've heard some stories about T.C. Williams and the Titans, and anyway, I just want to let you know I couldn't do what I do. Great support, and so Clark literally keeps the trains and the buses running on time for us back in Richmond. So Clark, thank you for all that you do for our administration. Also, you know, I wanted to tell you, Mayor, I got to be careful, I guess, but Pam and I always enjoy coming to Alexandria. It's one of our favorite places in the the Commonwealth. And I think one of the things that really stands out about Alexandria is that it's such a progressive, it's very innovative, and most importantly, it's a very inclusive city. And so I want to thank you and your council for your leadership and moving Alexandria and the Commonwealth forward. So appreciate you being with us today. And speaking of vision, Josh, thank you. We couldn't do this without leadership. And I also, you did a great job thanking individuals, but I wanted to reiterate, it's the staff of DASH, it's the people that drive these buses that keep us safe and keep us moving every day. So to you and your staff, I want to thank you. I know there's I know a lot of them aren't here, but you know, the legislators have been in office, or in session I should say, for a little over a month and a half, doing great work with COVID relief, with criminal justice reform, and finally getting us a great budget. So please give our legislators and our elected officials a round of applause. Thank you, Jeremy. So why is transit so important? It's important so we can move people from point A to point B. And you know, a lot of us take for granted when we get in the car, but a lot of people don't have access to cars. And so we know that transit is important. It's much more efficient, and in this case, a very clean way to move people. So we thank you for that. And I also wanted to take this opportunity to really emphasize the importance of clean energy. And yes, we believe in global warming, we believe in climate change, and we also believe that the quicker that we can wean ourselves away from carbon, the better we will be. So this is good for the environment, it's also good for people. It makes us all and keeps us all healthier, as you know, especially those with respiratory illnesses. It will keep our streets quieter with the electric buses. And also, it will create jobs. And I wanted to really commend Alexandria and DASH for being the first city in this region to have 100% electric buses. You see two of them behind us. I asked if I could drive one, and I've already been told that was not an option today. But Alexandria and DASH are also the first to commit to 100% zero-emission buses, as Josh said, by 2035, and this is certainly commendable. And as you all may know, Virginia has committed to being carbon negative or neutral by the year 2045. So we're all on a path to have a much cleaner environment. And finally, I just wanted to mention something that we don't always hear. This is obviously important for the people of Alexandria. It's important for our environment, but it's also important for our economy. And we are proud as Virginians to be the #1 state in this great country of ours in which to do business. And so I talk to businesses literally every day that are growing in Virginia, and also businesses that want to come to Virginia. And at the top of their priority list is renewable energy. And so if we're going to keep our economy strong, and especially keep our environment clean, we need to all move toward renewable energy. So this is a win-win situation for our environment and our economy. So congratulations to Alexandria, congratulations to DASH. And I just wanted to take the opportunity while I have the microphone, and I'm going to close up here in just a second, but you know, we're in the middle of a health crisis, a pandemic, and believe it or not, we've been in the middle of this for now 7 months. And we can get out of this together if we continue to follow the guidelines that come to us from the CDC. And I appreciate everybody out here wearing facial protection. I appreciate you keeping your distancing and the hygiene. And until we get this health crisis, this pandemic behind us, we will not recover our economy. So let's continue. We're all in this together, and I thank you all for being part of the solution. And then, as you know, there is an election coming up on November the 3rd. And I see from some of the stickers that a lot of you have already voted, and I commend you for that. But please get out and talk to your friends, your neighbors, your family, and make sure that everybody casts their ballot between now and November the 3rd, because that is the foundation of our democracy. So without further ado, I want to turn it over to your leader, your mayor, a friend to all of us, Mayor Justin Wilson. Thank you so much, Jeff.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
First of all, thank you to the Governor and Secretary Valentine for being here. We understand that this was just an elaborate cover so that Clark could come see his parents. And so we appreciate, though, you playing a part in that process. Welcome to, I was going to say Market Square, but we're really in the middle of King Street. So welcome to the middle of King Street. This is a very, very exciting day. You can feel the electricity in the air. So I get. Come on. The electric slide as we got up here, but he told me that would be the end of my political career. So I do want to recognize a number of my colleagues who are here. We have our Vice Mayor, Elizabeth Bennett Parker. We have Councilwoman Del Pepper. We have Councilwoman Amy Jackson. We have Councilman Kanik Aguirre. Did I miss anyone? All right. We also have, I want to note, because they're about to make some important budget decisions regarding service to the city of Alexandria, we have the chairman of the WMATA Board of Directors, Paul Smedberg, here, my former colleague from the City Council. Thank you, Paul, for being here. All right, this is very exciting to be a part of this public unveiling of Dash's new electric buses. For me personally, as a former chair of the Dash Board of Directors prior to my council service, and as well as a daily Dash rider prior to the pandemic, unfortunately I haven't perfected the route right now that goes from my bedroom to my office, so once they have that, I'll be back to riding every day. It is gratifying to see this day and see Dash leading the way in the Commonwealth, as they always have. I believe the last time, Governor, that you were here, we were celebrating another significant transit initiative at Potomac Yard. We have been very fortunate to have an administration in Richmond that is committed to investing in transit, knowing that it supports our economy, it supports our environment, and it supports our quality of life. So we want to thank you for your leadership and all that you have done. With every big announcement that we have, every big milestone, we're actually celebrating and recognizing the culmination of years and decades of policymaking, advocacy, and in this case, some good luck, which is what we're recognizing here as well. In 2008, Alexandria became the first city in the Commonwealth to adopt our environmental charter that outlines the core values and guiding principles that form the basis for the first environmental action plan in the Eco-City Alexandria initiative. Eco-City Alexandria, we got speeches flying all over the place here. Sorry, I got to keep everything down here. Eco-City Alexandria is a collaborative effort between various city departments, community organizations to achieve sustainability throughout this city. And today, this gets us one step closer to that goal. These buses are truly groundbreaking. It's a groundbreaking step not only for a sustainable transit system, but also for a healthier environment that all Alexandrians can benefit from. By operating completely on electric power without burning any fossil fuels, these vehicles will cut down on hundreds of tons of carbon and greenhouse gas emissions that are generated on Alexandria streets, helping us meet our long-term goals. And the work that the General Assembly and the Governor have done to help green our electric supply makes this all the more important of an investment. Additionally, the electric motors will provide a quieter ride for our passengers. This is going to result in a better transit system that helps all of us breathe easier. I'm thankful to Dash, led by Josh Baker and our chairman, Mr. Kaplan, for all of their work for achieving the sustainability objectives that were set forth in that Eco-City Alexandria initiative, and for helping Alexandria move forward to a cleaner, greener, brighter future. I want to especially recognize that we've had a strong support from the Governor for the Northern Virginia Transportation Authority, NVTA. We are represented here by Monica Backman from the NVTA. Welcome, Monica. And we have included funding for the Dash service enhancements and expansion in the inaugural FY18, FY23 6-year program. That program will install infrastructure for electric buses to support a complete electric fleet of electric zero-emission buses for Dash. NVTA has invested $11.9 million in this very important initiative. And so we appreciate the support of NVTA, our regional partners, in making this come to fruition. Not only these buses, but the buses that will come in the future. At this point, I am pleased to introduce the chairman of the Alexandria Transit Company Board of Directors, David Kaplan. There is no greater champion of mass transit in our community than David, and he knows the system inside and out. You can quiz him later. And we so appreciate his important leadership during this time. So I now introduce David Kaplan, the chair of the Dash Board of Directors.
Thank you, everybody. And thank you, Justin. This is really a historic day for Dash, for Alexandria, and our Commonwealth, and I'm delighted to be a part of the unveiling, and I send greetings from all my colleagues on the board of directors, several of which are here today. I know I saw Ian Greaves, Hillary Orr, Lisa Henty, Larry Chambers, Jeff Bennett, and am I missing anyone? Those are... Oh, Jim Kapsis. And Jim, I want to give special recognition to Jim. Was a former member of our city's Environmental Policy Commission and was an important liaison between our two groups as we worked out the details of this, and a strong champion very early on for the commitment that we've made today to go all electric. And Justin, as a former chair of the board, Justin was only the second person to ever serve as the chair of the board of directors. He succeeded our founding chair, Bill Hurd, after over 20 years of service. So you led Dash at an important kind of transition point, and you have continued to be such a strong champion of our system. And so we're very fortunate to have you as our mayor and all our local elected officials who have been stalwart supporters of Dash and riders and champions. The board is committed to helping Alexandria achieve its eco-city and its climate action goals, and I'm so proud of the hard work that was undertaken by the leadership of Dash under Josh Baker, our general manager you heard from a little earlier, our assistant general manager Raymond Mui. They worked with stakeholders in the city, our partners regionally, and the state to achieve take advantage of the funding available under the Volkswagen Environmental Mitigation Trust to bring our first set of electric buses to Alexandria. As Justin said, I've been a daily rider of Dash for a long time. I actually am transit dependent. I've never owned a vehicle. I live just a few blocks from here, and Dash was very important in my decision to relocate and to stay here in this city. I know what an important service it is, and so many in our community depend on this, and that our investment in transit makes our city and region a better place to live and work. Dash has proven itself since 1984 to be reliable, innovative, and always focused on doing what is best for our riders. And while there has been some uncertainty over the past several months about transit service, and the governor spoke about the effects of COVID-19 on our city, our state, and our region, there have been necessary changes to how we live and work, and that has resulted in a strong drop in our transit ridership. But I know that robust transit service is essential to the economic recovery that will come, and I appreciate the strong support that we get to ensure that transit remains. And Governor, you spoke so eloquently about why transit is important to so many of us, and I thank you for that. The introduction of electric buses and Dash's recently completed Transit Vision Plan, which calls for an investment in resources to provide more consistent all-day service along the corridors where there's greatest demand, will help Dash effectively serve this city for many years to come. From improved air quality to lower maintenance costs and a reduction in our dependence on fossil fuels, there is a great deal to celebrate today. I want to echo what Josh said, thanking Whitney and all who planned today's event, all of Dash's supporters who have come to celebrate us. Governor and Secretary Valentine, you have really honored us with your presence, and we thank you for being here. And I want to thank all of our riders who depend on Dash, who are going to benefit from the electric buses for years to come. I'll go ahead and turn this back over to Josh so we can actually see what these buses look like.
The group would join me in counting to 3, and we'll unveil the buses. Ready? 1, 2, 3.